what, you gave up on me? What, obviously that person doesn't necessarily know anything. Their ability to actually see was done out, because it's just in your ability to say that there's always something better. And if you can actually say that there's always something better, then what itself is the best letter. Like, I'm just walking, I'm in a wall, I'm on the wall, I am so tall. It's like I'm just the letter D, half an oval, like the oval's ovally. And so if I can say that comfortably, then why would you ever not pay attention to me? What are you all even paying attention to? Something that can't say this to you? Well, I just said it, and I'm not even the thing that broke. It's like the technology, it actually got choked out by my fucking smoke. So it's safe to say that if you can say something like the ability to say that there's something greater, then that's really all it takes to dispel a hater. If you can just say what the greater is, then maybe you can make some greater on gradering, instead of actually just say that you're hoping for something greater. So anyways, that's sort of really the deal. And if I was to now just switch up my pace to just get over the fact that the camera's in my face, I'd probably just slow down my pace. I'd try to say something with grace, like I could actually make this steel, this idea itself could then be more real. So if you want things to be more real, or if you want things to actually go somewhere, that's the deal. And if I was to try to go between the reels here, I'd say something like, really, the only idea that you have to get over if you're coming to a new idea is fear. Because it's like your world is changing. It's like all the trends they're rearranging. Like the things that you thought were your friends are actually just loose ends of some idea that the more you try to grab a hold, it's like the sun is in your eyes and it's actually not bright, it's really, really cold. So if you can't necessarily transform the world that you see, then maybe you aren't like me. Is that safe to say? Is that something that you'd like to play with? The idea that there's something else besides yourself. So if I was to say that the idea is that trends themselves are fading away, and making trends is like the idea of making new friends, can actually one word save this whole thought here? I gave the words themselves courage to actually go beyond the place that they had no feeling. Like I was actually, instead of rhyming across verse, I was rhyming between the words. That's what I would say, actually. Then do you look at the little things or the whole picture anyway? So, if all good ideas are like the idea of losing friends, the idea of trends ends, is it really possible for things that move to never fail? If you ever come across the ideas really well, that the idea is moving. I knew that once. So if the idea itself is moving and the structure's all the same, if all things end up the same anyway, then your ability to actually play with it is probably just like what league you're in. Are you ready to leave some league to climb a different tree? Going out on limbs are all the same. And if people actually can say that things are plain and that there's some great building in which everything can actually play, where what does this building actually look like? Anyway, can I say that if things are on this level, they're all technology anyway, and it's literally just how you dress up the table? Can I say that there's some building that has a table with this feeling? So what would the feeling be of this table in some way? This multi-leveled story, like roofs themselves are all just cloth. It's only hard to pull off if you think like a hammer. But if you actually add just a little bit of glamour to the idea that glamorous words are just like any type of work, which is just the idea of not giving up, and basically just like your fingertips. How many times have you tried to grab onto something that's a miss? So, with that in mind, this building that I'm trying to find, the texture of the table is almost something intangible. And if the table is intangible, then does it move with our go? Am I now going way too slow? Can I actually think of something? Is it better said or is it better seen? You're all actually walking blindly right now, because I can see that. So, if we're all at this place, there's really only so many places that we can go. We might as well make the table some giant multi-tiered evolutionary tree, and each table is like an animal that you see, and you climb up this tree and there's a different animal, a different table, until you get up to the smallest of the fable. And if you got there, then maybe all the animals are changeable at that top table. But are you actually willing to take the time to draw out all the animals in some bind so that there's many types of these trees, all of them filled with things that you can see? And if you go lower, are you getting higher or slower? Will you need to keep your speed up, or will all the different types of things that the animals can see take away your vision of the table, take away your vision of me?